And welcome back to the Sports Wrap. Tim O'Shea from Bryant, thanks so much for joining us. Coming off a nice win yesterday. You guys are rolling right now, 7 of 8, second place in the conference. You guys are really clicking right now.
Yeah, no, we're having a terrific season. 16-9 at this juncture, second place in the conference, right on the heels of Robert Morris.
Right.
Kind of where we want to be. We'd like to be in first, but we like the fact that we're in striking distance.
And Robert Morris, you mentioned them. It's kind of been the only team that's given you a hiccup thus far. But if you see them down the road, you know you can play with them because I think the losses were 7 points in total.
Well, they were both one-possession games, but we won our share of close games as well. So I think we'd have a very good chance whether we play them in the tournament at Bryant or we have to go back to Pittsburgh. I think we feel confident we can be right there at the end.
Talk about having two of the very best players in the NEC, De'Ami Starks and Alex Francis. Having those guys in your back pocket, 20 points a game for each, how pivotal is that for your success?
As a rule, if you want to win your conference, you have to have a couple of all-conference players. By that I define as 2 of the top 10 players in the league. And I think clearly in Alex, who's a Player of the Year candidate, and De'Ami, who's probably a first-team all-conference guy, we have that 1-2 punch. But we also have a terrific point guard in Corey Maynard. We've got a glue guy in my nephew Joe O'Shea. And we've got some guys coming off the bench playing really well. So I think we have the ingredients to potentially win a championship.
When you brought Alex Francis here, did you know he was a guy that could potentially get 2,000 points for your program? He's on the doorstep of...
He's had a remarkable career. When you consider the fact we were a program transitioning from Division II to Division I when he signed up to play for us, now he's really been the cornerstone of this move to Division I. Being successful now, winning 19 last year, being positioned this year, I give that kid all the credit in the world.
Now, 2 years ago, just 2 wins. Last year, 19. So there was a pressure on you this year to sustain that, and you've done that. Well, go back to the start of the season, kind of that pressure, and so far it's worked out.
Well, there's a lot more pressure when you're coming off 2 wins. Once you get to 19 and winning is established, guys have a different attitude in the locker room. They have a different expectation when they get on the floor. And I think that's the difference between where we were a couple years ago and where we are now. We really expect to win every time we take the floor.
And you talked about having pressure after 2 wins. You have stability. You're locked up for a long time at Bryant. How nice is that for you to see this thing through to where you want the program to be?
It was a high-risk proposition when I signed up, and I knew that. I'm just really thrilled to see it work out so well. Most schools that transition from Division II to Division I, it usually doesn't work out too well for the coach. But fortunately, I went to a place where they gave me a long-time commitment, and we've got a great administration between our athletic director, Bill Smith, and our president, Ron Makeley, who's really been involved.
Now, you've played a lot of good teams so far this year. I'm looking at Gonzaga, Ohio State, Harvard, Notre Dame. How have those games helped you in conference play?
Well, they've battle tested us, and I think if we're fortunate enough to get to a postseason, we've already played against elite teams. We know what to expect, and we've done a lot of that over the years at Bryant.
And you mentioned a postseason tournament in the CBI last year. Presumably the next step would be NIT, NCAA tournament. Do you think this is a team that can win the conference and get to the big dance?
Well, I think a lot of people do. I mean, we're positioned. Our league is a one-bid league. You have to win the conference tournament. The winner of the tournament advances to the NCAA tournament, and clearly we feel we're one of the teams capable of doing that.
What would it mean for the program? It's been many years since any team in Rhode Island has gotten to the dance. If it was Bryant this year, and I know you want PC and URI Brown to do well, but if it's you guys and not them.
Well, it would be incredible because we weren't even on the Division I landscape until a couple of years ago. So I think it's been 11 or 12 years now since Rhode Island has had a team in the NCAA tournament. So if it were to be Bryant, that would be a remarkable achievement. But I'm certainly hoping for my good friend Ed Cooley over Providence that they can make it there, and I think they've got a great shot at it.
And you guys playing a home gym gives you a lot of an advantage, and you're in the running right now for one of the best fan bases in the country. It's a vote for the 6th fan. How pivotal is your fan base and the support you've garnered the last couple of years?
We have as good an atmosphere as you can find anywhere in the country for college basketball right now. Our gym isn't real big, but we fill it up, and the atmosphere has been electric because it's the students that fill the gym and make a lot of noise and create a lot of excitement.
All right, Tim O'Shea, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll have more from the Sports Wrap coming up right after the break.